I'm already late and it's only my second video. I know you're probably thinking, Aaron, you said you would have a video out every Monday. It's Tuesday. I know it's Tuesday. I own a calendar. I was going to make a video yesterday, and I got home, and I'm like, let me play Animal Crossing for 10 minutes, and then I'll make a video. And then the next thing I knew, it was 9 o'clock at night, and my homework wasn't even done. So, that's how that ended. Before we start, I'd like to mention that this video will be under 8 minutes. Hopefully it'll be under 5, but I'm not making any promises right now because I don't know. I'm going to jump right into today's topic, which you already know from looking at the title, and that would be sexualities and or sexual orientation. They mean the same thing, but there's two very similar but different names for them. Alright, so back in like the 1950s and before then, really the only sexualities were straight and gay. Like, that was it. That's what people thought was it. There was obviously still exceptions and still the basic sexualities that we have in today's society, but they weren't really like talked about much at all. Sorry, this video keeps getting like cut from one scene to the next. My family keeps walking in. But back to sexualities. Considering that gay and straight are the two like main sexualities, I'm going to talk about those first. It's the ones that we're most commonly associated with. Heterosexual is the attraction to the opposite gender or opposite sex. Gender is a more politically correct term. So, male and female, heterosexual relationship. That's the end of that. There's really like not any exceptions. Homosexual, the attraction to the same gender. So male and male, female and female. There we go. Okay, we got that? Good? Cool, let's move on. One of the other most commonly used ones is bisexual. Bi meaning two, like, bicycle. Two, yeah, I'm really hoping you guys get this. Bisexual is the attraction to both genders. So, a male who likes males and females, he would be bisexual. A female who likes male and females, she would be bisexual. Cool, okay. Another one that is commonly mistaken for bisexual is pansexual. This can also be seen in some articles and other things like that as gender blind, meaning you're attracted to all genders, male, female, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, any kind of person. People who are pansexual don't necessarily factor in someone's gender when thinking about if they want to be in a relationship with them. That doesn't mean that they don't factor in other things. I mean, we factor in appearances, personality, how kind you are, how smart you are, what you like, what your interests are. All pansexual is not caring about what someone's gender is when wanting to be in a relationship with them. A sexuality that is almost never talked about in today's society is asexual and asexuality. Asexuality is the sexual preference of not being with anyone, really. And considering that it has the suffix sexual, what it really means is the desire not to have sexual relation with someone. Meaning, someone can be in a relationship and still be asexual. And that brings me to kind of my last point, which is there is a difference between the suffix sexual and the suffix romantic. It's not really talked about, and a lot of people don't actually know the difference, but there is a difference, it's just not commonly used. Sexual means the attraction or wanting to have sexual relationships with a certain gender. So if you're heterosexual, sexual relation with the opposite gender. Homosexual, same gender. You know, I already talked about all this. The less common suffix, romantic, means the romantic interest of the other or the same gender. So someone could be heterosexual, but biromantic, meaning they would have romantic feelings towards both males and females, but they would only have sexual relations with the opposite gender. When describing the difference between the sexual and romantic suffix, the two most common sexualities that are associated with it are asexual, which I already described, and demisexual. The difference between demisexual and the rest of the sexualities is that you can be demisexual, but you can't really be demi-romantic. Meaning, demisexual is when you have sexual relations with someone, but only if you are romantically invested with them. Demisexual is very, 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 very not well known. That was terrible grammar. It's not well known at all in society, and when you tell someone that, they're like, what's that? Actually, with a lot of these sexualities, people will get confused. Because like I was saying at the beginning of the video, 50, 60 years ago, we didn't have all of these labels. And that brings me to my last point. All these sexualities, all of these labels, don't have to define you. You don't have to fit into one specific group. Take me, for example. I'm pansexual, so I'm not really caring about someone's gender when in a relationship, but I have a preference towards females. Just because you don't fit the exact guidelines of a sexuality doesn't mean that you don't fit into it. Find a sexuality that represents you best, and if you can't find one, then just go along with what a lot of people say. I like who I like. And I think that's the easiest way to do it. Alright guys, thankfully my video was under 8 minutes today, and that's fantastic. So I'm going to leave you with just a few things. Of course, my name is Erin. I'm going to be putting up a video every Monday, and I'm just going to be talking about different things, mainly dealing with life, sexualities, genders, and occasionally I'll talk about Tumblr because that's a big part of my life too. Next week I'm going to be talking about gender labels, which is going to follow about the same guidelines of what this video did. And I'm going to leave you with two questions. One, at what age did you start realizing, if you did, that your sexuality might be different than the norm of heterosexual? How did you find out? And two, I need a name for this channel. I don't have one yet, and I'm blank. I cannot think of one at all. So I want you to comment down below, or you can go to either of my blogs and give me a recommendation for what I should name my channel. And I will pick one of them, one I really like, and the winner gets a pair of customized headphones. I do customized headphones a lot, like I have a pair Dave Strader headphones from Homestuck, and I also have a pair of Welcome to Night Vale headphones as well, but they can be any kind of headphones that you want. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.